look in the collar, Carl's posturing. So that's when we're going to throw in that shallow lasso here. And then this leg will be free. Carl wants to make the grip, and when he does, I find the collar. Foot comes on the hip, foot comes on the shoulder, and then I push to make that diagonal on the shoulders. Okay, so we looked about, if Carl does nothing, I just lift the hip and I'm straight into my triangle choke. But good players will bring their elbow back towards their hip. So we looked at last week where I could off balance him. Just that little push to make Carl take the step. Then I lift the hip and then I shoot the triangle again. That make sense, yeah? But then we looked at how if he doesn't take the step, he can kind of put more, that's if he's all the weight on his right leg, the leg is forward. Sometimes when he puts more weight on his other leg, he won't take that step. You'll go to off balance him and that happens there. So then we looked at, I put the foot on the hip and then I'm going to bring him forward for the overhead sweep and we just go to mount, that's what we covered last time. But Carl has a free hand here. And good players, when I bring my feet towards his hips, he will post with that hand. So once I get into this position here, it's just all about that open elbow again. So I'm just going to push him away, and as I do, I lift my hip, foot comes over, and then I'm back into the triangle again. So again, I control the head, underhook, make sure my lower back is off the mat, find the shin, and when I come up for the triangle, I make sure the shoulder isn't inside. Okay? So I'm going to find that first grip. If I can and get the collar, that's good. But good players won't give me that, so I just throw in the shallow lasso, and then I'm waiting for him to make the grip to pass. When he does, he has to bend over. There's your second grip. Lasso now comes into the hip, and we're into our collar and sleeve guard. So in future weeks, we're going to be looking about knee on the inside. I prefer this position, but start of the mesocycle, this leg is on the outside. So if he's not really paying attention to what he's doing, I can just basically lift my hips and pull his right elbow past my left hip. That leg will come over, find head control, underhook, and that's really about getting that by filling that space at Carl's left ear. So now I bring in the second knee, grab the shin, triangles on. No. So I make that first initial grip, throw in that lasso. Once he bends over, I make my second grip, foot comes in the hip, and we're in the collar and sleeve. Anytime Carl's comfortable, his shoulders are usually square, so I just do that little off balance. Now he's keeping his elbow tight to his hip, so now we'll look for what we covered last time, just that off balance to make him take that step, and then I can hit it again. But if he doesn't, and you go to work the off balance, it's more than likely his weight isn't on his right foot and he's kind of more central or more on this leg. So when I go for that off balance, he doesn't move. So that foot just comes into the hip, just your tomanagi, your overhead. But he will post with that hand. And in the battle of him not getting swept, more than likely his elbow is going to come away from his body. So it's just this to pull in. And then I just push him off and lift my hip again. Leg comes over. Immediately I find the shin, underhook. Again, we don't want to be triangling, just turn. We don't want to be throwing a triangle this. See the way there's a shoulder inside there? So any connection that I have with Carl is going into that shoulder. So I want to keep head control and basically kick out with this leg. Alright? That gets my lower back off the mat, but gets my knee so that the space is filled here. Right. Once I'm there, shoulder comes in, or inside of my knee comes in, and if you've got connection, I can just finish it without even locking the triangle. If you have good connection, just create a little bit more space, find the shin, and come in. Sometimes you're up against people that just are awkward to sweep, they have a low center of gravity. We can work that as well. So say we're here, I'm playing collar and sleeve. Try to work the off balance, doesn't happen, and then I want the triangle. Carl's keeping his elbow, right elbow tight to his hip. I go for the overhead, it's still tight, and then when I pull him forward, I just can't get him over, if that makes sense.
But it doesn't matter if I go for the sweep. I can fake the sweep. It can be a failed sweep. As I go and Carl's coming back, I just lift my hip again. Again, legs coming over, find the head, underhook, triangle again. One more time on that, just triangle over. So, collar and sleeve, we're here. I tried to sweep, I feel I just can't get Carl's hips over mine. So as I try to do it, even if I pull him and Carl posts with his hand on the mat, at any opportunity, I can get that. All I want is my hip behind his elbow. Pull your elbow back. And now this leg comes over. Find the head.